have great weather for us. My next speaker is Speaker of the House of New Hampshire, Bill O'Brien. He has obtained his law degree from Suffolk University. We're so privileged to have him here tonight. Speaker O'Brien is the Executive Director of the New Hampshire Legal Rights Foundation. He has been a professor of law at the New England School of Law. He and his wife, Roxanne, have 3 grown children. Speaker O'Brien.
I heard we're running ahead a little bit, and those who have suffered through legislative sessions with me know that I can take care of that right away. I want to thank all of you for the welcome. I want to particularly acknowledge a few individuals who have assisted so greatly in putting this together. That's Brian Grodman, Linda McGrath, and Karen Weinstein, who directly worked on this. I want to acknowledge as well Ronit Pearl, the Council of Israel, who joins us here tonight. And I want to also acknowledge Charles Jacob, and acknowledge him for his prominent leadership in this community. I also want to welcome fellow state representatives. My eyesight isn't as good as it should be, but I see over there that Representative Carlos Gonzalez from Manchester has joined us this evening. As we live our lives of security in this fine democracy, our country's closest friend in the world is subject to almost daily rocket and terrorist attacks because it is solely a land of freedom and democracy. We need to stand for Israel to defend democracy. We need to stand together with Israel to advance peace. Our bond with Israel stems from a shared love of freedom and the history of our peoples who have immigrated to fight for liberty and democracy. These shared values make us natural allies. As an American, I stand in admiration of Israel for all that is achieved in spite of its geographical position in the heart of the turbulent Middle East. Both of our nations have been built upon this foundation of freedom and share a similar story. The ancient Jewish nation provided a model for the American colonists. It was from the land of Israel that came the inspiration for John Winthrop's Shining City Upon a Hill. Both of our nations were built on a pilgrimage in search of democracy and freedom of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is the heart of the special relationship between America and Israel. Support for Israel is a wise investment in our common future. This is affirmed in the increased turbulence and turmoil we see in Libya, Syria, in Iran, in Egypt. Islamofascism would be emboldened, not satisfied by the destruction of Israel. Terror attacks and the extreme Islamist leaders' demands on the nations of Western Europe would increase, not decrease, with the loss of Israel. Eliminating Israel would lead to a rapid increase in the popularity and prestige of extreme Islamic movements within previously far more moderate Muslim communities around the world. Now, we must stand with Israel, even if we are the only country to do so, because it is the right thing. Indeed, if we are Israel's only friend, that would be another example of American exceptionalism. Israel's success is America's success. Their freedom and peace is America's freedom and peace. America must support our closest ally at a time when it is facing international prejudice and the existential threat of terrorists. We must stand with Israel. May God bless and sustain Israel and the United States of America. Thank you.